Hi, my name is JT.
I'm Evan.
And welcome to G Club. Today's video, we're going to be looking at a Kickstarter that's coming live in September 2017 called the Heirs of the Wizard King. So let's get to the table real quick, see how it plays, and we'll come back and give you our thoughts. In Heirs of the Wizard King, the king is dead and the Dark Wizard is to blame. He is trying to complete a dark ritual that allow him to become the new Wizard King. Will you and your fellow new wizards be able to stop the ritual so one of you takes the crown? Or will you fight amongst yourselves long enough for him to complete the dark ritual, hurling the world into darkness as he takes the throne? And here we have a setup for two players. We have our two players over here that represent our wizards with their chained areas here with this card and this card here. And then we also have our black wizard over here who has got his starting chain over here with this green card. All players will receive ability tokens as well as the black wizard receiving ability tokens. Then each player will be dealt out a card. The number will be dependent on their turn order. So if this guy's the first player, he's going to get 1, second player is going to get 2. If there was a third player, they would get 3, and then the fourth player would get 4. Players will also get a token here representing what level wizard they are. And in a 2-player game, your goal is to get up to level 7 as a wizard. On a player's turn, they're going to be taking a look at their cards, and they can do one of 3 actions. One is to command, and that is to take one of the cards in their hand, look at the text, and play the card for the text. Another option on my turn is to absorb a particular type of ability or spell. So in this case, let's say that I wanted to upgrade in my lore. So I would take the lore card, I would put it into the discard pile, and that would allow me to absorb or level up in that particular spell. So now my lore is 1. Then what I can do is use the special ability according to that spell. So in this case, the lore would allow me on my draw step to draw 2 plus the level that I'm at. So this is 1, so I'd be able to draw 3 cards, keep 2, and return 1 back to the top of the deck into any order. The third thing I can do is simply use one of my ability tokens. So let's say that I had this blood token up here, or this heal token I should say, and that was at level 2. So in this case with the heal, I would look at the top 2 cards of the discard pile, keeping them in order, just similar to the card that we played earlier. Decide 1 to keep, and then 1 to put back into the discard pile. Okay, now let's talk about chaining. Now in chaining, you can do any amount of cards that you want as long as you can match them up. So let's take a look at the card that we have out here. So right now in our chain, we have started with the purple 2. Now, I can put as many cards as I'd like to up to the level that I'm going for. So in this case, I'm actually trying to get to level 2. So I'm only going to be able to put 1 extra card out there. And I can do that either through playing a purple card that will match up to the purple card that's out there, or I can play a card that matches a number, in this case 2, and I can put it out here, and that would allow me to do my max chain. In phase 3, we're going to be able to discard any completed chains. Now, the thing is here is that this actually happens across the table. So there are other effects where you can add cards to other people's chains. And when that happens during your turn, you could potentially discard chains that are not related to you as a wizard, and therefore upgrading either the black wizard or a fellow player. So in this case, we're going to just chain our cards, and we're going to be able to put them out here into the discard pile, and we're going to upgrade our wizard to level 2. Then we get to take any one of these tokens that are out here and move them up to track 1. So let's just say that we're going to take this heal token and we're going to move it up to level 3 because we want to have that particular spell at level 3. Once we've completed all the chains, we'll take a look at the number of cards we have. In this case, we have 3. We'll take a look at the draw limit. In a 2-player game, we can have up to 5 cards. So I certainly meet that condition here with 3, and I'd be able to draw 2 cards from the deck. Once we've drawn 2 cards, we will give 1 card to the black chain, and we'll put it out here next to the black wizard. When this red card comes out, that means that the related spell ability is going to be leveled up for him. and then he's actually going to take an action, typically against the players. So in this particular case, with the Black Wizard, he's going to actually do a red action here, or a heal action, where he's going to take the top one card off of the discard pile and see if it will actually match up with his particular set. Now, because he's going for level 2, this actually won't do anything for him because he's already got a maximum of 2 cards. However, you'll notice that he's not going to chain because it's not time for that to happen within the game, because that happens during phase 3 on a player's turn, and this is now phase 5. Once that's been dealt out to the Black Wizard, now any empty chain, such as the one in front of me, we're going to be able to resupply the chain and start it off with a new card. If you have an empty hand and you don't have anything left, you would also draw a card and put that into your hand, but because we still have cards left, that's not going to happen in my particular case. Play will continue going clockwise until players have made it all the way to the goal for a 4-player game of 5, 3-player game of 6, or a 2-player game of 7 levels, or the Black Wizard gets all the way up to the same level that the players are trying to obtain to. If the Wizard gets there before the players do, or at the same time, the players lose the game. However, if one player reaches that goal first, then they win the game. So let's talk about the Black Wizard and when we upgrade spells, because they're a little bit different than what you're going to use as a player when you play these same spells. So let's talk about the healing for a second. So when the heal happens, he's going to grab cards from the discard pile equal to the number that he's at, and they're going to see if it actually matches to it. He actually added this card to his chain, and he upgraded this one to 1. And then what would happen here is, in a lore, he would actually draw that many cards out of the top of the deck, and he would actually see if he could pull that off. Another option would be as if, let's say that he had a grow. So this, of course, would level up the grow. Or if the level was here for grow, it would go up to the next level, so on and so forth, depending on how many times a green card is played. But with a grow card here, this would allow him to be able to take the top one card off the top of the deck, just check to see if it would actually match up. So let's say this was the top card, and it looks like it would match onto his chain. But if it didn't match his chain, then it would look to actually grow other chains around the table for the players, starting with prioritizing the smallest chain that's out on the table. Another option is to play the prior card. Now what this does actually is, once it levels up, let's say he was here at level 1, moves him level 2, this actually would just take and discard 2 cards out of the deck and speed up time. Now, why does the Wizard want to speed up the deck? Well, because if he's able to either chain, he's going to go up a level, or if the deck runs out and is completely empty, he actually gets to go up a level. So it's in his best interest if he can find ways to manipulate the deck to make it go faster. Another option for him is to actually upgrade the burn. So you want to feel the burn? Well, here you go. The Wizard's going to make you feel the burn. So what's going to happen here is, depending on the level, it's going to burn cards out of chains in front of players who has the largest chain. All right, last but not least is the web. This allows the Black Wizard to go around and return up to, if in case you level up 1, or if he was, say, let's see, was at level 3, it would allow him to go around and actually take 3 chain cards back from the largest chains that are out there. All right, let's take a closer look at some of these cards and their abilities. Now, these abilities are essentially the same thing you're going to get when you upgrade your tokens on your player mat. And when you look at these different abilities, you're going to notice a particular theme that they have. So lore, or dealing with books, is going to allow you to get more cards drawn out. So on your draw step, you're going to draw, instead of just 2 cards, you're going to draw 9 cards with this one, and then keep 2 and put the rest at the top of the deck in any order. This one is the prior one, or dealing with time. On your draw step, instead, shuffle your hand and discard pile into the deck, then draw 6 cards. Burn. This allows you to discard 3 cards from any chain or hand. Opposing players' cards each count for 2 discards. So if you notice that the Wizard is getting way too many cards, and you want to try to knock out some cards out of his chain, you can do so. Then there's web. This actually returns the chain cards back to the top of the deck. Then you have the heel, which is represented by blood here. You can look at the top 6 cards of the discard pile, maintaining the order, and select one card to place in your hand. So this allows you to sift through the discard pile to find that card that you're looking for and be able to get that in your hands. And then there's grow, which is one of my personal favorites. Reveal the top 7 cards of the deck, add them to any chain, discard any cards you can't chain. So this one's kind of a gamble here. So if you want to push your luck in a game, this is the card you're looking for. There's also what are called the Lord cards. These are kind of the masters of their domain when it comes to the type of spells that they're able to do. So let's take a look at these. So we'll start with Grow. Now this allows you to reveal enough cards to complete all players' chains. In clockwise order, each player is going to chain one or discard one that can't chain. This Tower Web allows you to return 10 chain cards to the top of the deck in any order, then flip the Black Wizard face down. This allows you to be able to freeze the Black Wizard from being able to get any more cards added to its chain, as well as being able to level up anything. So this is a pretty powerful card to slow down the Black Wizard. The only way the Black Wizard's going to flip back over is if the deck is ever needed to be shuffled. Heal Death. Look throughout the entire discard pile, maintaining the order, and get 2 cards placed into your hand. Prior Tower. Shuffle all other cards into the deck. So you're going to play this card out on the table, and you're going to grab every single card from every hand and every chain, and you're going to put it into the discard pile and then shuffle it all together. And then what you're going to do is deal out 1 card each chain and give everybody 3 cards for their hand. And then you get to take your turn. So this is that ultimate kind of reset, if you will, when you think things are getting out of hand. Then there's the Precise Burn. Select a number starting with yourself. Discard from each chain in hand until each has that number remaining. Ancient Lore. On your draw step, draw until you have 10 cards. Then return 3 cards to the top of the deck in any order. So very powerful cards, a lot of fun to play. You can of course use them within your chain, but you want to use these for their special abilities because they give you pretty significant power here and a lot of damage you can do to your fellow players, the Black Wizard, or even really kind of boosting yourself with these cards. Okay, so let's get into our final thoughts about Heirs of the Wizard King. So, great game, just out of the box, love it. I think that even though we got prototype components, I thought the art was really good. So what did you think about that?
I thought the art was really cool. I love the lords. They just had these cool special abilities, and like you could see it in the art, and it looked really cool. Yeah, the art's great on it. I thought the components are well done. Of course, our prototype stuff, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the actual tokens look like in the end versus what they were in the prototype. But I think the art is fantastic. The Dark Wizard looks really cool. Yeah. I thought that his art just is fantastic. As far as the gameplay is concerned, a lot of combo building. But there's definitely a lot of interaction. So when it comes to this game, while it does play pretty well 2 players, I think you and I played through and still had a good time with it. Oh yeah. But having it more players, I think, is a little bit more fun. Yeah, it's better because then you can just mess with more people, and then there's certain abilities that allow you to mess with multiple people at once. And that's just kind of cool to do sometimes. Right, so when you were talking about the lords, one of them basically resets the entire table. The Lord of the Prior, which is kind of the Time Lord. Not timey-wimey Time Lord, by the way. But it basically goes through and wipes out the entire table and completely resets it. So, which can be just a lot of fun. So people that like chaotic play with some strategy, I think this is something you're going to really enjoy, as well as the combo building. Now, the gameplay, it takes probably a full game before you really get your head wrapped around how this game plays. So it's not really one you're going to easily just pick up. So a lot of folks, it took a full game before they kind of realized, probably about halfway to 2/3 through the way of the game, they finally were picking it up. So it's going to take some time to get through it, but it's well worth it. And you're going to want to play this again and again and again. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to learn at first, but once you learn it, it's really easy and lots of fun.
Now, the one thing that I will say that I really enjoyed about it is I was actually thinking about this for a few weeks ago, that I wanted to actually make a video called games that do well with dummy players. All right, and basically I was coming up with nothing. And in this game, that Dark Wizard, he acts kind of like a dummy player would. He's interacting with the table. He's interacting and messing with the players. And so you have to kind of keep him down, otherwise he's going to end up winning just as much as any of the other players. And you need to band together to kind of keep him down long enough. So, big 2 thumbs up for me. When it comes to this game, I really enjoyed it. What did you think, Evan?
2 thumbs up, too.
2 thumbs up. So
2 fireballs.
2 fireballs up. Yeah. 2 wizard sticks up. Or magic wands up. Wizard sticks? Who does wizard sticks, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So 2 magic wands up for me, and
2 fireballs up for me.
2 fireballs up for you. So, a lot of fun. Check it out. It's out on Kickstarter if you're looking at it sometime in September of 2017. I'll post in the description below the actual link to the Kickstarter. So go check it out. I think it's only going to be $19 plus shipping. So, for that, I think it's a fantastic value for what you're getting. So go check out the Kickstarter, see if it might be something for you. And in the meantime, I'm JT.
I'm Evan.
And you've been watching G Club. So hey, before you jump over to Kickstarter, if you like this video, hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. And come check out the rest of our videos. Post a comment below and tell us, what's your favorite movie with a wizard in it? What's yours?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter? Okay. So his cousin was Bald Gardner?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. I knew that. Mm-hmm. How do you get all the way up here? Well, let's talk about chaining. But not Dick Cheney. Another option on my turn is to actually learn or observe. Observe? Take a look at that description below. Nope.
It's always this part.
Certainly would love you have it. I can't say subscriber.